Hey guys, if we reach 1,000 likes, we'll be giving out 2 of our new shirts. All you gotta do is click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Fandoms. They're great for people who want to be social without actually having to meet anyone outside of their houses. And for those who want to dedicate themselves to a cause, but don't want to actually have to work to do so. These things are what these fandoms love to do. But there's one thing people often overlook. Just how much money these fandoms generate, and just how much fan content they make. Think about it. From fan art to music to plushies, these guys make a pretty penny from these groups. In fact, some of these videos can make tens of thousands of dollars. Some people in these fandoms make their entire living from it. Passion is great, and that's what fandoms are. But it's even better when you can make that your job. Here are the top 10 most creative and grossing fandoms. Groups like Star Wars and Star Trek are largely going to be ignored. We're mainly focusing on the more cartoon aspect. That's what my channel is about. But before we get into that list, a word from our sponsors. YouTube, everyone's watching it. You can be anyone and rise to stardom, but no one rules alone. If you have a passion, whether you want to do top 10s, commentaries, or analysis videos, you need to know the basics of running a channel. Level Up Dojo will teach you everything you need to know about how YouTube works. Things YouTube themselves should be telling you, but don't. How to tag your videos, how to create a fan base, and potentially make YouTube or live streaming your job. Turn your passion into something that you can actually make a living out of. I mean, that's what we're all trying to do, right? Do something that we enjoy. And whether you want to add to your income or make it your solo income, Level Up Dojo will give you the tools from some of the top creators. So whether you want to be the next Silver Quill or the next Digibro, Level Up Dojo will provide you the tools to do so. Number 10, Adventure Time. Adventure Time is made by Pendleton Ward and produced by Frederator. You heard that right, Frederator. The YouTube network. Frederator actually did a do back in the day. I mean, they might not have thought it was going to be as big as it is. They put the pilot on a channel called Random Cartoons, but they won an Annie for that. Just 1 year later, they got picked up by Cartoon Network in April of 2010. From that day, there have been countless channels and games made from the IP. The music in Adventure Time has inspired more than a few musicians to create their own amazing remixes or original content. There's no solo cons yet that I can see, but you're going to see them at plenty of different Comic Cons and other nerd events. I've actually been to a few, and there's quite a few Spawn on Ice King impressions. Actually, now that I think about it, those guys weren't cosplaying, were they? Probably not. Number 9, Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is only so low on this list because of the shortness of the series. It was made by Alex Hirsch and produced by Disney for the channel known as Disney XD. You know, I'm pretty sure they named that before cringy kids started using that more than any actual punctuation in a sentence, but I still cringe to this day saying its name. Anyhow, the show started in June 29th of 2012 and ended around November 20th of 2015, or at least that's when it was announced no more episodes would be made. This isn't a problem, obviously, because fans of Star Wars and Star Trek certainly have stuck around with what little content they got for all those years. The show has done something few shows can actually claim to do. It got people off their butts to go solve puzzles in the real world. While I haven't seen much in the way of music from this group, I do know for a fact there is tons of fan art and OCs made of them, putting a nice pile of coins into Art Monkey's pockets. Not only that, there have been consistent streams of animations made as well. Animations will get millions of views, translating to thousands of dollars for those animators. For as prolific as it is, for as brief as it lasted, one has to wonder how big it would have been if they'd just gone slightly longer. Number 8, Homestuck. Now we're leaving my area of expertise. I don't know much about this series other than that there's always someone cosplaying it somewhere. It started in 2009 and finally wrapped up almost a year ago from the day of writing this in April 13th of 2016. There's not much of a reviewer community that's popped up around this fandom. There certainly is a large music one, having enough music to sustain a 24/7 radio live stream. There are plenty of comic dubs and memes as well.
Don't read a webcomic called Homestuck!
Number 7, Steven Universe. Steven Universe first aired on November 4th of 2013. It's described as a coming-of-age story written by Rebecca Sugar. She's Cartoon Network's first solo female show creator. Apparently. Kinda feel like the Fox kids would disagree, but sure, whatever. Look, I don't have to tell you guys how popular this is, from music to reviews to everything wrong with and etc. Hey, I think I'm in that list. Really, the show got catapulted not only because of its good writing and interesting story, but because it hit almost every single one of Tumblr's checkboxes. This is the case where the fandom can be a little bit toxic. There, I said it. There are plenty of good people in it, and if you really want to get into the show, I don't want to discourage you, but there is a little bit of a toxicity that's found in this fandom. But hey, look at CSGO and Dota 2. Those are some pretty toxic communities, but those are some pretty good products. Number 6. Rick and Morty. This is a bit of a unique one on the list. It's one of the only adult-themed cartoons on this list, for one. It was created by Justin Roiland, responsible for all kinds of messed up animations that are hilarious and weird all at the same time. And Dan Harmon, who also does stuff. Look, music, there's plenty, but what really drives this fandom is the creative improvs alongside animations and physical creations. Let's tackle the animations first. There were plenty that came out when they released the Season 3 animatic, allowing all kinds of budding animators to make their mark and in turn promoting the show. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what they knew would happen. The show gets free promotion and animators get a nice check for their efforts. The next is the physical side. With the onset of 3D printing, people are able to model anything and make it a reality for pretty cheap. Things like Rick's portal gun, or his face, or even a plumbus, which everyone should already have in their house anyways, as well as a myriad of other character models. The blueprints can be sewed or detailed in a video of their constructions being made. The last is a bit more complex. The wordplay, the off-the-cuff rifting that is often a trademark staple of the voice delivery of the show. Justin has a weird improv manner of speaking, laced with different stutters and ad-libs. This is used by various commentators in their speech patterns or even just direct impersonations. Regardless, you can say that this fandom does have a pretty decent market size and the creativity level is pretty huge. Number 5. Yugioh. Yugioh is one of the more mixed bags when it comes to content creations. The show was launched in May of 2005. Since then, they've had more than 23,000 cards made. And that's just, unique cards. Because if we're talking about how many cards have been sold, well, that's around 22 billion. And that's since just 2009. Who knows how many they've sold since then. But buying and selling cards doesn't exactly make you money or count as creative. I suppose if you're a card seller, that's an economy in itself, and a single card could net you somewhere like $30,000 in some cases. But here's the thing that these nerds love to do. They love to meet up at cons and cosplay. There's also certainly plenty of art. Just look at all the different style of these cards. But there's also a budding YouTube community. Now, it's not nearly as big as the COD or CSGO players, but it's certainly there, and it's a tight-knit little group. You can find all kinds of YouTubers, from 40,000 to 100,000 subscribers. Dedicated fans tuning in every day or every week to find out what's new with the series. There are reviews and countless strategy guides. Yugioh may be partly chance, but it's also about deck composition. There's a lot of stuff that goes into deciding what a deck should hold. That in itself is its own art form. Number 4. My Little Pony. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with this one, and I don't think it's really a surprise that it's on this list at all. Obviously, My Little Pony was rebranded for TV, being Generation 4 by Lauren Faust, and it was originally scheduled to go on the Hub, which now is Discovery Family, which is now Discovery Kids, I think. They keep on changing titles, so it doesn't really matter. This fandom really does do it all. Love it or hate it, there is countless music that has been made by this fandom of all different genres. And that music isn't half bad. A lot of the orchestral and rock is quite amazing actually. There's even rap in this fandom. The art is obviously abundant, having multiple sites dedicated to just hosting pony art. And animations? We have too many to count. There are countless people who make their living from just this MLP fandom, whether it be mainly supported through Patreon, commissions, or even just ad revenue. This show has launched so many people's careers. Eventually, some people have moved on from the pony fandom, using the basis of the fans that they got from it to go into different things such as anime, general music, or even something completely different. This fandom has given people plenty of opportunities to spread their wings both financially and creatively. Number 3. Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh boy. Technically not a cartoon, it's a video game, but it is pretty cartoony, and I can't really make a best most creative fandoms or most profitable fandoms list and not put this behemoth on it. Five Nights at Freddy's came from nowhere, this little indie horror game that was kind of interesting at its time, and then it became just this giant snowball effect of everyone latching onto it. Reaction videos, let's play videos, commentaries, reaction to reaction videos, animations. This fandom blew up. The music in here, insanely popular. Simply doing gun sync videos, which is just playing gun sounds to the beat of the song, gets you hundreds of thousands of views. Actually creating the song will get you tens of millions. Some people have made twice your yearly salary off of one single song. This fandom is incredibly dedicated. The games became pretty repetitive for a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that the fandom died off in any capacity. In fact, even to this day, it's going hard. There are channels that have over 1 million subscribers just from Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Theory videos have been made galore, capitalizing on this, making tens of thousands of dollars, pushing people's logical leaps beyond what they normally thought possible. As much as I don't care for the game, the fandom has proven its worth time and time again. I may not like the games, I may not even be particular fans of a lot of fan-created content, but I certainly can say that this fandom has done quite a bit for itself in a very short amount of time. Number 2. Pokemon. Look, it's kind of like having a dual package here. You can't have Yu-Gi-Oh on any kinds of list and not have Pokemon. Its arch rival. Pokemon is huge. Some would say probably bigger than Yu-Gi-Oh! Except Yu-Gi-Oh still has the most cards sold. Pokemon also has some insanely popular games, and yes, they did in fact have Pokemon Go, which yes, wasn't actually made by Nintendo, but it is still the Pokemon IP. That was such a good game that it motivated millions of teens to step away from their computer screens, go outside, and explore their neighborhoods. Not only that, but it has a huge gaming community. And when I say huge gaming community, I don't just mean people who play the games. I mean people who will dedicate years and years of their lives to creating their own full Pokemon games, like Pokemon Uranium. There are countless animations and parodies, OCs that have been made. This fandom, to even try to sum it up in a minute or 2 minutes, is impossible. It's too huge to do so. Number 1, Undertale. So some of you may be a little bit upset that Undertale is number 1 and not Pokemon, or insert your fandom here. But Undertale is one of the most unique ones here. While everything else has either had multiple games or multiple seasons, Undertale has only had one game. And from that one game, they've garnered this huge fandom, hugely committed fandom, that has created animations and music and all kinds of derivative content off of it. While Toby does say that he feels kind of weird with people making money off of his IP, he does allow it. In fact, as far as copyright holders go, he's probably one of the most lenient. This fandom is hugely creative, and while there's a lot of crossover between all these fandoms, the Undertale fandom has done a lot of unique things only pertaining to them. The gameplay that the Undertale game is based off of is pretty unique, or at least it's something refreshing from the normal first-person or third-person shooter. There's a lot of cringe, but there's also some very well done animations and stories. Undertale is an actually pretty deep game if you get down to the core of it. but that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear what you guys think. As always, I've been Faith Moliminous. I hope you guys do check out our sponsors in the realm of YouTube where different advertisers are leaving us. Level Up Dojo has felt the need to actually give me a shot here, and you know, they want to work with us. They want to work with YouTubers. They want to work with YouTubers to help YouTubers be YouTubers. And I actually did look over their site, and someone who's been doing this for a living for quite a while, I can honestly say that it's going to give you a head start. Definitely. It will definitely give you a head start above what a lot of people do, because I look at a lot of you newer guys out there and I see what you're doing, and a lot of you guys are just missing obvious stuff. So if you guys really do want to advance your YouTube career, or even just get people to watch what you create, this is a great course to go ahead and look over. At least browse their site using the code down below in the description.
Hey.